Hello and welcome to Hardway Learning, where we look stupid so you don't have to. Today we're working on the 1996 Mazda Miata. If you haven't followed this build, it is extensive. We did a full turbocharger install, T25, 2554 turbo, Fine Miata intercooler piping, CSF aluminum radiator, Flowforce 640 injectors, eBay intercooler, Megasquirt 3 running a Mac valve. Tuned by me, optimized by, tuned by Sean. But today we are going to be diagnosing a tie rod. So what you do is you take your wheel and you do noon and 6, and I'm getting some play there, which makes me think I've probably got a bad ball joint. And then 3 and 9, and I've got play there as well. And this car doesn't howl at all, so I probably have a bad tie rod. And you can see, if you watch the tie rod as I'm wiggling this tire, the tie rod moves with the wheel. If the tie rod was stationary and we were pushing at 3 and 9, that would mean that it could be a wheel bearing. And then the noon and 6 play, you'll watch the lower ball joint. Alright, so I do get a little bit of north-south play, but I definitely, when I wiggle east-west, I see this move, which makes me think the wheel bearing is probably, question mark, okay. But I'm going to take this tie rod off, so we got to, already kind of bent this cotter pin, and then we'll pull that through with a needle nose. There we go. We got our cotter pin out, and then we will undo these boots. Guy off with the impact or the ratchet. A little 1/2-inch extension or 1/2-inch breaker bar, 17mm castle nut on there. Oh, this is going to be the fun part. Will the tie rod end come out of the steering knuckle? So put the castle nut back on upside down so we have something to whack, and then we're going to spray some penetrating grease, let that soak. In the meantime, we will get these clamps off here. I might have to get the belly pan off. So of course I wasn't recording when I actually got it to pop, but I heated this up a second time, sprayed more of the penetrating oil PB blaster, and then gave this a really good whack with the hammer. Get yourself an engineer's hammer. They're heavy, they're stout. Should be able to come in here, push these little like safety retainers away. This little ridge that captures the tie rod, push those out, and then we can get a adjustable wrench on here, get this off the power steering rack, and undo our nut on the outer and pull that out. There you have it, folks. So I'm not the smartest person in the world, but, well, there's no but. For some reason, I forgot that I needed to reuse that outer tie rod, which actually looks pretty new. So that sucks, because I just angle grinded that one off. So I can't finish this until I get another outer tie rod from Rock Auto. But in the meantime, what I did was sort of eyeball where that nut is with threads, so that I can remove this boot, put the boot on here, and then we'll have a close reference on how long this tie rod needs to be. You will want to get an alignment or do an alignment after you do a tie rod, but we'll get this outer tie rod on, we'll get the boot on, outer tie rod on, and then the car can go back together. I'm also going to buy a lower ball joint, because now that I have this other, now that I have this out of the equation, I think I can see some movement in that lower ball joint. So we'll get this front corner all nice and tight like a tiger. But yeah, that was fun. All right, after waiting a little bit, I got a new outer tie rod. Set that jam nut spot that I marked. Now we are ready to make sure you got the boot on before you do the outer clamp. Left the other clamp on the power steering pump. And put our safety washer thingy on, and then we'll go thread this into the power steering.